Me did Yanyante Chua, and maybe I'm discovered for you, Pakuma Busia for Ghana. No, me used to tap send. Tap send. No fee mobile money transfer. Eye easy, eye convenient, eye fast, and sounds so free. Won't you share? Me discover ye map pimp. Tap send. Intienne, also download the tap send app no ever mobile phone so free. Nefesi kakomu Busia for Ghana for na. Tap send. Papa no.
Everybody check now. Check it. Check it. The beat is real. Don't wait, make it kill ya. Get your green select glucometer and check it. Sugar level, check it. Check it. Green select glucometer. Check it. Push sugar level for check it. Check it. Reselect glucometer. Everybody check now.
This advert has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Coming your way with the editorial here on Sammy Flex TV always feels like, yeah, this is the time for me to talk. Because here, I get a chance to say what I want to say with no distraction from anywhere or anybody because I'm alone. And I go through it like someone who is writing like that pen editorial of a sort. So once again, I'm about to do the editorial here on Sammy Flex TV, and this is going to be strictly about Samini and Sarkodie, what started on Twitter yesterday, and the fact that today it also ended on Hitz FM 103.9, where Andy Dusty hosted the Daybreak Hits. So many issues coming up from there, and I'm sure going to spend some few minutes to talk about what I feel was wrong and what I feel should be done right, and maybe what has been the issue between Samini and Sarkodie over the years. So join me on this journey and let's do it as usual as we are about to do the editorial here on Sammy Flex TV. Let me say thanks to the production people, Digital Rasta who is on camera, and Richie Flex who is the editor director of the show. My name is Sammy Flex, and I want you to follow me on Instagram as well as on all my social media handles, because over there I still share some points in our space, and those points I share I can still call them as the editorial because they are the real deals I want to talk about. So let me start by saying what was started on Twitter. And guys, I think if you have listened to me religiously over the years, you might have heard me say this one or two somewhere, that if we are to respond to what fans are going to say to us as media people, or if we are going to say anything on our hearts, the things fans say to us on social media, we are sure going to hurt most of these celebrities. Maybe you've heard me say this before, or maybe you've not. But that's what I keep saying. That's what I believe in. That looking at my position as a journalist, sometimes I get some fans of some musicians coming to say this or that in my post or on social media or to me at some places. And I always say that the things they say to me, if I should respond to them in equal measure, I will not hurt the fans. So never. I'd rather hurt the top celebrity that they are following, that guy they are supporting. That guy will be the one I'll hurt. So sometimes I deliberately ignore comments and reaction from fans on social media, because they will come and say, why do you hate Chatawale? Why do you hate Stonebwoy? Why do you hate this? Why do you hate that? I'm telling you honestly, if you try to respond to some of these questions, why do you hate? Why are you not talking about this? Why are you not reviewing this? Why? If you try to respond, you never hate that fan. You end up hurting the celebrity, and you end up creating some bad blood between you and that celebrity. So oftentimes I ignore 100%. I know some might interpret it to be fear, some might interpret it to be whatever, but I know why I ignore. I ignore because I want to protect that kind of respect and that kind of relationship I have with most of these stars. So like the Samini case, From all indications, and after listening to him on radio this morning on Hitz FM, Samini is telling the world that whatever he was saying, he was not saying it to Sarkodie. Rather, he was saying it to the fan. But you see how it ended? It ended up being a stray bullet to Sarkodie, because at the end of the day, the fan is a nobody. When Samini said people should ask him questions, and the fan asked that, oh, Samini, when are you hitting the studio with Sarkodie again? Now, who even knows that guy? Nobody knows him. As a matter of fact, nobody is talking about him. But what are we seeing? We are seeing clashes between Samini and Sarkodie. And once again, I am warning, or I'm cautioning, maybe not warning, I'm still cautioning you that if you are to respond to what fans will say, especially those fans who have decided not to hear anything that anybody else says apart from their artist, if you are to respond to them, you will insult the artist. Desist from it. It is not a sign of weakness. It is not a sign of you being fearful. It's not a sign of you not having knowledge. Just desist from it and keep your mental peace. You'll be fine that way. So Samini thinks that Sarkodie has been ignoring his proposition or his proposals to record a song with him. And that is the reality. Because at least in history, if you come to Ghana and maybe in Africa alone, you get about 8 names saying the same thing about Sarkodie. You can mention Edem, you can mention Kwakesi, you can mention Yemi Alade, you can mention Ivoria Superstar, you can mention Kwakesi. In fact, a good number of them, Sherifa Gunu and all those people, they have been talking about Sarkodie not responding to them when it comes to features. Latest is what we are hearing from Samini. And unfortunately, it is still about the same person. Maybe Sarkodie's explanation this morning on the radio made sense to me. Where he said that, yeah, sometimes the song comes, you want to write it, but the mood is not just right, or the vibe is not just right. You would want to wait till you get that vibe right before you can do it. And that is a fact. That is a fact. All of us, it happens to us in diverse ways. Sometimes you even say you want to call someone to have a conversation, but that mood to put that phone on your ear, that let me do that call, sometimes doesn't come. And if you are not careful, it will take years, months to come. And that has been the story. So yes, Sarkodie might be guilty for not responding to them, but if we can also understand it from his point, maybe it will be good. Just that I loved a point Samini made, where Samini says that, one, he thinks that you can say yes or no. But to keep me waiting and to be giving me blue ticks is what is hurtful. That, okay, Sark, I ask you for a feature. And you say, oh, how many songs? Oh, I present 2 songs to you. I say, choose one. You pick, you ask, is it an album? Is it a single? I tell you it's an EP. And you say, okay, cool. And okay, cool, till now, you haven't said anything. When I send you something, you just read it, you blue tick, and you don't respond. That one, it will be hurtful, as a matter of fact. And Samini, from all indications, is hurt. He is hurt. Because when he came on the radio, the way he was talking, the fact that he even described Sarkodie as a small boy, the fact that he brought some old issues, saying that when Sarkodie said in his rap that he wants to be big in music like Samini, and at the same time, Sarkodie comes again to rap in another song, and he says, Samini. All these things have been accumulated in the heart of Samini. And that was what he shared on the platform this morning on radio. I've taken time. I was at the gym, but right after I saw, I didn't even know Sarkodie was on the show. But right after I saw the link on Adum Online, and I've watched over 1 hour 38 minutes video because I wanted to know how it will end, especially the Samini saga. And from the way it is going, I want to believe that when it comes to features, artists should be straight with themselves. I'm sure when you make the reverse and you go to Samini, there might be some people who have also gone to Samini for features, and maybe Samini is not forthcoming with them. Every artist would have that issue. Just ask around. Every artist, and especially the top ones. The top ones who are busy, who have busy schedules running left and right and center around the world. I'm sure so many people can come up and say, oh, I requested for a feature, he didn't mind me. I requested for a collaboration, he didn't mind me. I'm sure so many people have such issues. The only thing I can say is that you guys should just learn to be straight with whoever comes your way. I want to do it. Okay, at this stage, I don't have time. At this stage, we can't do it. At this stage, we can do it at this time, at that time. Then it ends. So the person cannot say he did not mind me, because the Sarkodie story has been, he did not mind me. He did not mind me. Yes, the Ivorian superstar I was looking for is Freddie Mercury. When Freddie Mercury also said the same thing, Yemi Alade, same thing. It has been a story like that. And I want to believe, after Sarkodie's apology to Samini, because he is human, we have to take it as such and know that sometimes some people, it will be hard for you to say no to them. So the best you can do to yourself is to dilly-dally. But let's learn that based on some of these things, we can go straight and say no. As much as it will be hard, no matter how hard it will sound, let's say no. Let's learn to say no at this time, so we'll be free. We wouldn't have any future issues to deal with. So I want to also say on behalf of Sarkodie that Samini, accept this apology for us and let's see how it goes. But then, Samini said so many things that we need to maybe probe further. So for instance, when he said the puppy and the puppy and the Pietus issue, the fact that he has someone who has also gone on the road with his full album, and the person is saying he owns the rights to the album, but the album belongs to him, Samini. When he said that, something crossed my mind, that who is Samini talking about? As a matter of fact, I know Samini in books have said he's worked with Stonebwoy on a record label deal before. I know, and everybody knows this. Everyone who knows our industry knows this. That Samini has said he's worked with Stonebwoy. Stonebwoy has also said his music, or the beginning of his music career, started from high grade family. Could it be Samini is talking about Stonebwoy, who he thinks has been going on the road performing his album, and he's not talking about it? Is that what Samini wanted to talk about? Because he said when it is time for him to talk about, he will mention names. And that is where you ask who is right or who was not right. In this industry, there are so many people who have issues, but sometimes how to talk about it is the problem. Personally, whilst I was enjoying my show on TV last night, because I was on TV when all these street things started. I was on CTV doing my Class Showbiz. Anyway, if you're in Ghana, I do my entertainment show, that is Class Showbiz, on CTV, mainstream TV, Mondays through to Thursdays, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. So I'm inviting you. You can even join me today, and let's do it. So whilst I was on TV, enjoying my show, then I saw a tweet from Samini, left, right, and center. And I said, hey, what's happening? Because I've subscribed to his Twitter handle. So anytime he tweets, I get a notification on my phone. In fact, so many top celebrities have subscribed to their Twitter handle. So anytime they tweet green, I also get a notification that this person has tweeted. So whilst I was looking at these tweets coming left, right, and center, I said to myself, maybe this is the way to go. Samini did not hide his feelings, and it is good that way. I know some people might not be happy with how he approached the issue, but I'm happy that way. Because one, now Sarkodie walks knowing what Samini thinks about him. Now Sarkodie moves around knowing that it is better than someone to be in a cold war with you. That you meet with the person, you shake hands with the person, you hug the person, you might even eat and drink with the person, but at the back of the person's mind, it is terrible. So me, when I saw Samini going all out and saying what he feels like saying, I said, yes, this is how it should be. After all, after today, everybody knows their position. Samini feels that, yeah, Sarkodie is thinking like this, and Sarkodie also thinks that Samini is also thinking like this, and that is perfect. If Samini meets Sarkodie and he feels he wants to shake hands with him, he'll do that. If he meets me and he thinks he wants to dine with him, he'll do that, because they know their positions. And Samini even said Sarkodie is not a friend like that. He's not someone that he's been talking to on a regular. He's not someone who is on his first list when it comes to those he calls. He's not like that. So it is good that we've seen them like this. Everybody knows their position. And to those people who are also online saying Samini is looking for hype with this, Samini is looking for trends with this, Samini is looking for hype to promote what exactly? Sometimes fans, if you are not careful and you follow what fans will say, you make so many mistakes. And I think I've said that in my earlier submission. That if you are not careful and you follow fans, you make so many mistakes. Because I'm sure Samini got furious, like he said in the interview on radio, that he got furious based on what the fans were saying. Those statements like, yeah, he's looking for height. Those statements like he was doing that, like they are painful when you know your position. And I'm sure Samini also got carried away in the middle of the interview somewhere. In fact, at a point, I felt he was either disrespecting Sarkodie or he was looking down on him. Words like, you are my small boy. Words like, if Sarkodie is recording, we should look at the number of features he has to do before he'll get a hit song. And that Samini doesn't need anybody to be on the song to get a hit song. Yeah, I felt those areas, the punches in there were so hard for Sarkodie to take. The punches in there were so hard for Sarkodie to take. So maybe, Samini, in your next approach, as much as you are angry, let's also be careful what we say, because we are not saying it is wrong for someone to get someone on a song to blow. It is not wrong to feature someone. But Samini created the impression like, okay, for Sarkodie, at every point in time, he needs someone before he can blow. Of course, Sarkodie has history of getting more hands on his songs for like how they should be, because he's a rapper. And it is like that because he's a rapper. And at every point, if you want hooks, or if you want some singing on your songs, because you don't sing, you need someone to do that. That's why if you go through his catalog, most of his songs, he got singers in there and they made magic for him. But that should not be downplayed. You can get a singer and your song will still not be a hit. So if you get a singer and your song comes through as a hit, then it means that you did something right. So yes, I understand Samini was angry, but the stray bullets were just too many. Once again, in any opportunity, we have to find out who Samini is talking about. That the person has been on the road touring with his album, an album that he invested in. In fact, my high suspicion is telling me about Stonebwoy. My high suspicion is telling me that what he is talking about might be about the two artists who started from his camp, Kofi Kinaata and Stonebwoy. But looking at Kofi Kinaata and what Kofi Kinaata has not even recorded an album, so we can put him out. Yes, Kofi Kinaata also started from high grade, but because he's not recorded an album, can you say he's there? Because Samini was specific that album. If it's an album, then the only person we can say recorded an album to start his career is Stonebwoy. Could it be that? We will start investigating that later, and on this platform, we will let you know. But finally, let me say this. I'm a journalist. I would want to host interviews with celebrities. I would want to have artists come to my studio so we have conversations. But sometimes, how the conversation goes, it is hard to control it. Today, I can tell you in confidence that Sarkodie was disappointed in Andy Dusty. It's so obvious. And let me tell you how. Maybe if you can also watch the interview, say it. When Samini came on the line, it came as a shock to Sarkodie because, yeah, Sarkodie thought that statement was just going to be like a passing statement, then boom, it is gone. Then they continue with their conversation. So the conversation came. Sarkodie responded to the issues. Then, to the shock of his life, this is Samini on the line. He was not giving any alert. He was not giving any announcement. Andy was reading something now. Okay, then talking about Samini. Samini is on the line. And poof. Samini came through because he was angry. He also started throwing salvos all over. Then the call cut. The line cut. And Andy insisted that because he doesn't want to come across like he hanged off or he hanged on Samini on the phone, they should call him again. Then Sarkodie said, Andy, you see? Andy, you see? See, that is why when you wanted me to come, I was saying, wait, you did not understand, but now you see. So, obviously, Sarkodie was telling him that, so you see, this is the mess I always want to avoid. Reason I always try to avoid your interviews or your call-ups. And he was not talking to Andy Dusty alone. He was talking to all of us as entertainment journalists or presenters. That this is why I don't, you say, Andy, you see what I was telling you? You see why when you called me, I told you to wait. Sarkodie did not want that. And I can tell you in confidence that he was highly disappointed in Andy Dusty. But can you blame Andy Dusty? That is the nature of the game. If I'm sure Samini also called Andy that I want to talk and Andy did not allow him to talk, he might also have been very disappointed. He might also have been very disappointed because, yes, you were able to bring my issue. Now let me come and talk about my thing and you are saying no. He would have also been highly disappointed. But unfortunately, this is how it goes. we are sure going to know how to deal with ourselves. We are sure going to know how to solve our issues. But to Sarkodie, you did the honorable thing, and that is what strong men do. Strong men apologize when they feel they are wrong. And I love the fact that you were able to own up and you apologized to Samini. And for Samini, I know he wanted more. Because Samini even wanted to call for a conference. He wanted Sarkodie to talk and he would talk. Sarkodie would talk and he would talk. But Sarkodie was just not ready. He said, no, I don't have anything to say. And Samini went off the line. This is the story so far. It is unfortunate, but I keep telling you, go to any artist cobweb and they have a similar story. Every artist has disappointed someone with a feature. Every artist. Mention their names. Every artist in this world has disappointed someone with a feature. It is not Sarkodie alone. But the only thing is that if it becomes too many, then your name is becoming like, yeah, he's that guy who is always doing that. But unfortunately, the industry is like that. We rise, we fall, we correct ourselves, and we move on. My name is Sammy Flex. This has been the editorial. I'm sure when we sit in the evening with a full team, we'll do another analysis of the Samini Sarkodie saga and more topics here on Sammy Flex TV at exactly 7 p.m. on Showbiz Daily. So join me and let's do more. Special thanks, Digital Rasta, Richie Flex. My name is Sammy Flex. Let's do this again. Subscribe to us because here we talk about real show business and more. See you when I see you.